white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only. No parking. The white zone is for...
Wait a minute. Greg, please pick up the white.
Greg!
God, you are relentless. You know that? Once you get onto something, you never let it go.
Well, I thought this was important to both of us.
You know damn well it is.
You don't sound that way.
God, what are we doing to each other, Di? Haven't we been through enough already?
Look, do you want to give up? Do you want to give up? If you want to give up, just tell me.
And then what?
I don't know. I'll try to I don't know.
I am human, okay? I have my doubts. It doesn't mean I'm not committed.
Well, I'm sorry. I have my doubts, too. And maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know. It's just when you want something so much.
But you are not alone in this, Diane. It's the two of us, you and me.
Fine. Fine. Maybe I'm just crazy, okay? Fine.
Flight 174, non-stop to Atlanta, is now boarding gate 21.
I'll tell you something. One of the best days I can remember is when you came to me and said, Greg, I'm ready to try again.
Really?
Yes, really. So don't put me through this.
I don't know why you put up with me.
Yes, you do.
Mr. Murphy, please meet your party at baggage carousel 6.
Hey, be careful up there.
Always. You know that. See ya.
Attention, please. Conwest Airlines Flight 2412 from Phoenix is now arriving at gate 16.
Right here. Yes.
Attention passengers, Conwest Airlines Flight
This way.
1501 and
Quickly.
service to San Francisco
This way.
is ready to begin boarding from gate 19.
Start valve lights. Out. Electrical system.
Is, check.
This is the final boarding call for Conwest Airlines Flight 1501, now boarding through gate 19.
I can't believe it.
Good afternoon, Senator.
Hi, Senator. My name's Lorraine. Could I get you something to drink?
Oh, maybe just some coffee,
You, sir?
No, thanks.
External power APU. Ignition is off. Gear lights.
Down, 3 green.
Hydraulics.
We got a low pressure light here. That pump's not putting out. Damn.
We can go without it.
I know.
Getting all over us about delays. Got 2 backups.
Yeah, but I don't like it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Hofston. I'm your captain. On behalf of Conwest Airlines, I'd like to welcome you aboard Flight 1501 to Kansas City and then on to San Francisco. Well, there's an indication here on one of our hydraulic pumps that I don't like. We're allowed to go with it, but I prefer not to. And so, in the interest of safety, we are going to be delayed here an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I hope you'll understand that this is all in our best interest, and we will keep you posted as to any progress. In the meantime, thank you, and we appreciate you flying Conwest.
Sorry, Senator.
An hour and a half, I don't know. I've got to be in Kansas City by 8 o'clock tonight. Got to be.
Well, there's that United flight in half an hour. Of course, when we have to bump somebody.
Well, what are we going to do? Got to be there. Maybe next time. Sorry.
Okay, I will. Okay. Sir?
Yes.
Our name is Switzer.
Yes, Mr. Switzer.
The missus and me got this bargain flight to Honolulu. Are we going to miss it? We've been planning this trip for years.
What's your layover time?
In San Francisco? Only about 2 hours.
Well, you should be all right. We'll see what it looks like when we get to Kansas City.
Well, I guess.
Well, now don't worry. One way or another, we'll get you to Honolulu.
Hi, this is Diane. And yes, this is a recording. Now don't hang up. Greg and I are out running around someplace, but we'd still like to hear from you. So don't be shy. Talk as long as you'd like, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks.
Hi, Di, it's me. If you're there, pick up the phone. Damn, I really didn't want to miss you. We've got a delay here before we take off, and I just wanted to talk to you and sort of explain to you what I'm going through. In the first place, I'm sorry. Just bear with me about this pregnancy thing, will you?
Oh, great. We're playing with my airplane again. It's mine. It's not yours. Yes, it is, too. It's mine. Don't give it back. No. It's mine. Hey, give it back. Enough of that. Well, make him give me back my plane. It's mine. It's not. It's too stupid.
I told you what would happen if this happened again. Now, in the house.
Hi.
They had nothing else to play with. I'll get this. Did Greg get off okay?
Yeah, as far as I know.
You're ruining my life.
That's what mothers are for, honey. You can have these two. Oh, Diane, I'm sorry. It's not what I meant to say.
Dixie, it's been 7 years. You can stop walking on eggs now, okay? Come on.
1620 heavy hold at runway 35 right. Conwest 1501, you're cleared for takeoff on runway 35 left. Wind 010 at 13, altimeter 29er, point 9er.
1501 is on the roll.
Senator, hi, I'm Ted Wilbeck. Welcome to Kansas City.
Well, thank you, Mr. Welbeck. It's good to be here. First thing that's gone right all day. Our flight was held up, then we missed that United flight, and I had to charter a jet.
Taxpayers are going to love that. Well, I misunderstood. We thought maybe you took that bomb threat seriously.
Bomb threat?
Well, that's what they said. I don't know, Senator. Maybe someone doesn't like your attitude about abortions.
Well, there's nothing new about that.
Wait a minute. No one told you? We got a call at the conference headquarters here that said you'd never made it to Kansas City, and then when you switched planes, well, we assumed that...
Did you follow up on it?
Well, we assumed your staff did.
Did you warn the airline? Did anybody?
If you mean Conwest, no, you weren't on that flight.
Mr. Welbeck, the bomber, if there is one, doesn't know that.
This is Conwest 1501 answering cell call.
Roger, 1501. We have dispatch on the frequency. Go ahead.
Dispatch, this is 1501.
Roger, Captain. We have just received a bomb threat regarding your flight.
Say again.
You have a possible bomb on board.
Can you verify that it's on 1501?
Negative. It's up to you, Skipper.
Okay, right then. Keep us informed.
Roger.
So what do you think?
Cleveland Center, this is Conwest 1501. We have just received word of a bomb threat nearest major airport.
Go ahead, 1501.
I request expeditious clearance to...
Is it Dayton?
Dayton. How does that look to you, Center?
Our radar shows a solid line of thunderstorms. You're going to have to pick your way around them. Choice of Dayton Airport or Monitor Municipal.
Monitor's as good as any, then.
So what do we tell the passengers?
Well, odds are it's a hoax, right? So no sense sending some poor soul into cardiac arrest over nothing. This is Captain Halstead. I've just punched on the fasten seatbelt sign. There's some rain showers ahead and reports of some turbulence. And we can't fly over this stuff. But rather than return to Washington, I've elected to set us down in Dayton until this activity abates. I know this causes further delay, but under the circumstances, it is the safest thing to do. So, flight attendants, please prepare cabin for landing. Thank you. Approach control, this is Conwest 1501, descending to 3000, proceeding direct to the Monitor Airport. We are painting some fairly heavy storm cells between here and the airport. If you can, request radar vectors around the activity.
Cells are building rapidly in all quadrants. Looks like the softest spot might be, turn right, heading 035, descend to maintain 3000. Over.
Wait a minute, that puts us right into a big one.
Well, we show that to be about the best heading for you, sir.
Doesn't look that good to us. We're going to maintain present heading 180.
According to our radar, that puts you right in the middle of the largest cell.
Well, I'm going to have to go by what we see here. Seems to be the best way to get through this stuff.
Not according to our radar. But, you're the captain. Maintain heading 180. You're clear to land on runway 18.
Flat 15, landing gear down. Something's wrong here. I don't like the looks of this. Flight attendants, take your seats now.
What is it?
Something screwy here. How's 1501 look to you?
What's he doing? Big front blown in from the east and he's flying right into it.
Not according to his radar.
And the guy with the bomb?
Right, he's coming in on 18.
Damn, I'm gonna scramble crash trucks.
Oh boy. 1501, we now show you on the worst of it.
Oh my God.
It's okay. Be on the ground in a minute.
Damn, where did this thing come from? Hold on, it's a rough one.
Scramble crash equipment to runway 18. Scramble crash equipment to runway 18.
We've lost number 2 engine. Damn, too much water. Maybe not. Try an air start.
One five zero one. 1501. 1501. 1501. 1501. 1501. I got a crash on the airport. Runway is closed. Airport is closed. Airport is closed.
All aircraft on this frequency, please stand by. We have an emergency. You will be vectored to another airport. This airport is closed.
Look at this. Especially the overhead bins, melting, dropping onto the passengers. The plastic trim's putting out what? Well, smoke, ammonia, cyanide, all kinds of lethal gases. This stuff is killing people. Wes Goddard here. Yeah. Where? Conwest Air? Pam and Bob are with me now. Notify the rest of the GO team, will you? Right, bye. We've got a DC-9 down, Dayton, Ohio. We're on our way.
Where do you think you're going?
Home to bed, and don't try to stop me.
I wouldn't dream of it. They've got beds in Dayton.
Dayton, what does Dayton have to
We've
do
got
with
a
anything?
plane down, 100 fatalities, maybe more. The news director wants you on the air in 5 minutes for a special news bulletin.
I need everything we know and quick, and keep the information coming. I want to leave for the crash site as soon as we finish here. Have our satellite feed set up and hot by the time we get there. And tell them to make sure the wreckage is in the background. And lighted.
I can't believe I forgot Greg told me that spare was flat.
Listen, if I say something, you won't get mad at me.
No. Why?
You're such a private person in some ways.
Dixie, come on.
What does Greg have to say about all this?
Oh. He just bawled me out for not believing in him. I guess we're both still a little sensitive about... Well, you know, when Mary Ann died, you have no idea what we went through together. But that's the point. We went through it together.
You've had what? 2 miscarriages? And then this perfectly beautiful little girl that...
You can say it, you know. Crib death. Do you have any idea what the odds are against 2 consecutive crib deaths? I'd just never forgive myself if I didn't try again. I'm ready. I'm ready emotionally. I really want to have another child.
Is this the same Diane Halstead who swore to me that she was through with all that?
Well, like you said, that was 7 years ago. Time changes things.
Would be fun.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is he dead?
Diane.
Is he dead or alive? Just tell me.
The only information we have is the plane went down outside of Dayton.
No, he was going to Kansas City.
Well, they had to divert some kind of bomb threat. Diane, I'm sorry.
I have to see him to go there.
We'll get you there.
I gotta get in there. We gotta see what's in there. Let's go. Come on.
Lieutenant, you all right?
No, I'm not. I need more portable lights set up over here, here, and one back by the tail section back there. The command post is fine where it is. Let's go. Get it set up here. Got all right. Come on!
Lieutenant, what can we do for you?
Well, I need a staging area set up here. There's going to be a lot of vehicular traffic coming through. And then somebody to check credentials.
Sure, we can handle that.
Hospital, anybody heard from them?
They're coming in now.
All right, we got a clear path for the ambulance.
Right. What about the news people?
Ah, the hell with the news. Bring it over here.
Excuse me, who's the on-scene commander?
I am, for now anyway. What can I do for you?
Special Agent Bryce, FBI. We were told there was a bomb threat involved.
That's right.
We're going to have to secure the area then.
Hey, well, wait a minute here.
Who are those people over there? What the hell are they doing?
CIA. Something about top secret cargo. That's all I know.
Mueller, get into that. I don't want anything removed until we've completed our investigation.
Bryce, we're looking for survivors here.
I understand, but this is a possible crime scene. All this could be evidence.
Look, if it's a matter of jurisdiction,
No. Rescue operations come first, of course. Let's just try and stay out of each other's way, that's all.
children. They were...
Where did he come from? Sir, excuse me. What are you doing here?
You know, I've looked everywhere.
Sir, you don't understand. This is a secured area. You're not supposed to... Wait a minute. Were you on the plane?
Plane? No, it's my shoe, my other shoe.
We got a survivor here! Sir, if you come along with me.
Without my shoe?
Uh-huh. This way.
There seem to be two factors. One is a bomb threat, and the other, this isn't at all clear yet. Are we on? Excuse me, I've learned that we just have picture. As I was saying, there was something about thunderstorms and confusion in the cockpit of the plane. I'm not sure what that means. I'll have to trace that down. As to survivors, only one is confirmed at this point.
Nickerson?
Yeah.
It's Chet. You got the TV on?
No, why?
A plane just went down in Dayton.
No kidding. How's it look?
We're talking 130 people now. I want you to fly in there ASAP. I don't care what it takes. Just get down there and start digging around.
Any survivors?
So far, only one.
Okay, I'll start with the hospital. You coming with me?
No, I'll drive down tomorrow. You go ahead and get started without me.
This could be a big one, right?
Yeah, I know.
And we're losing GPS.
Hey! Hey, there's somebody in there!
Alive?
No!
Who is it? Can you tell?
Can't get at him! He's got a uniform, though!
Hydraulic John! Bring him in here. Let's go. I need the torch right away. Get it in here.
Mrs. Halston?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Marge Vale. Did you get the word?
No, nothing. Why? What is it?
Well, we don't know much. Except your husband's alive.
Alive?
Yes. Are you all right?
Yes, it was the not knowing. How bad is it?
Got no idea.
Can I see him?
Memphis and Atlanta is now departing at gate 12.
Howard. Wes. Good to see you.
This isn't everybody.
No. More on the way. Howard, you don't know these folks. Pam Hayes, Survival Factors, Bob Stanton, Hazardous Materials Division. And, of course, there's this poor soul.
Scott Cody, Howard. How you doing?
Howard's our local guy.
Pleasure, poor soul.
Oh, he's just jealous.
Yeah, Scott seems to think that I envy pilots.
I see Airline Pilots Association.
You're an insufferable bunch. So, how's it look out there, Howard?
Pretty bad.
Survivors?
So far, just two, a passenger and a captain.
Out of how many?
130, maybe.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Well, you want to get checked in first?
No, let's get out to the site.
Look, if the pilot's still alive, I want to go and see him.
It's me, hon. Can he hear me? I never for a minute believed this could ever happen. Could we be alone? Could I be alone with him just for a minute? I'm not gonna let you go. Come back to me. Please.
Dr. Carmine, 4523. Dr. Carmine, 4523.
Mrs. Halstead?
Yes.
I'm Scott Cody. How's he doing?
I don't know.
pretty scary.
How are you doing?
Who did you say you were?
Scott Cody. I'm your ALPA representative.
Airline Pilots Association.
Yeah.
You know my husband?
No, we've never met. Look, Mrs. Halstead.
Call me Diane.
Okay, Diane. Is there anything that the association can do for you? You got a room? You need a place to stay?
No, I'm going to stay right here.
Is there anything I can do for you personally?
Yeah. You can tell me what the hell happened.
Well, I guess we're out of here. Is there any equipment you're going to be needing?
No. I very much appreciate your help, Lieutenant.
What'd we do? Doused a few fires? Find a couple of survivors? Wish to God it had been more.
Thanks.
Wes, look who's here.
Sergeant, how'd that man get in here?
The priest? Let him in myself. He's giving last rites. Why?
Because he's not a priest. Grab him.
You're kidding.
I'm quite serious.
Sergeant, we mean it. Stop him.
Hey, you! Get that man! Hey! Stop! Hold it!
Hey! Excuse me. This area is restricted. Special Agent Bryce, FBI.
West Goddard, National Transportation Safety Board. I'm the investigator in charge. This is Stanton and Hayes.
I suppose you're looking for the black boxes?
Well, actually, we were wondering about this CIA business.
No trace of them yet. The boxes, that is. Probably still in the tail section. We can pull them out for you if you like.
No, thanks. We've had a little practice. I think we can handle it.
Don't get huffy. Just trying to help.
Then tell us about this CIA thing.
Well, I guess possession's still 9/10 of the law.
And what's that mean?
Apparently, they came right in with the crash wagons. Makes you wonder where they got their info, right? Anyway, they cleared out with it before anyone could stop them.
With what?
I don't know. Top secret. Spy stuff, maybe. You know how they are about those things.
I hope we're not in your way here.
As a matter of fact, you are.
Well, you won't get too uptight if we try to do our job, will you? And we tend to get a little impatient if we can't go to work.
Well, I don't know. FBI has a little investigation of its own to do first.
Then do the people of the United States a favor, Bryce. Try not to disturb this scene too much. We've got to find out why that plane went down.
Aren't we touchy?
Damn business is tough enough without his attitude.
Well, look here.
Know this guy, do you?
Hello, Ash. I thought you were still serving 5 to 10 in Joliet.
Well, you got to know how to use the system.
What's he got on him, Sergeant?
I don't know. Cash, a lot of jewelry. Haven't counted it yet.
Yeah, well, his last haul was $15,000. You know, Ash, I spotted you 50 yards away. If you're going to persist in this line of work, I'd strongly suggest that you consider plastic surgery. Might be an improvement. Larwin!
Wes, we're going to go on ahead.
Yeah, we've set up a temporary morgue over in Hangar 5, and we'll be out of your way as soon as we can.
Good. Look, I hate to ask you this, but try to keep your people from kicking the tin around, okay? It's important to document the exact location of the wreckage. And in some cases, even the smallest little fragment can tell a big story.
I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing here. Just total devastation everywhere you look. Bodies, fragments of bodies, luggage, wreckage of the plane itself strewn for nearly half a mile. The furrows in the earth indicate the wings struck the ground at a steep angle. But why? We know there was a bomb threat. Some eyewitnesses say they saw an explosion. Others saw lightning strike the plane. One claims an engine was on fire. These, I'm sorry to say, are not extraordinary events. But one thing is, according to air traffic control, the pilot, Captain Gregory Halstead, refused, actually refused to follow their instructions and flew into the most dangerous part of the storm. Of course, that is when the plane went down. So it seems to me that federal investigators have their hands full. All we can do at this point is await further developments. This is Spence Zolman for your News Watch. The pilot from Virginia, right? How are your contacts there?
Pretty good. If not, I'll make some. Why?
The pilot. Arguing with the tower? Never heard of that. Possible bomb aboard? Flying in dangerous weather? He argues with the tower? There's got to be a story behind that. I want to know about that man. I mean, everything.
Okay, I'll get on it.
The NTSB press conference is tonight.
A push like that's gonna cost.
Who cares? This is hardball. I want the goods and I want it honest.
I know that tone of voice. You smell blood, don't you?
Look, everybody's got something to hide, including Halstead. Dig it out. I want it.
I don't envy you this. How's it going?
We're just swamped. We're all on overload here. We'll do what we can. Look, what about the families? They're arriving in bunches now, and they all want on the site. They seem to think they can help with the identification.
Can they?
No, not really. I haven't got that much faith in eyeball ID anyway, and besides, the bodies are unviewable.
Then tell them that. Hope they'll understand.
Here's something.
Oh, you recognize that?
Part of our uniform.
That would be whoever was in the galley jumpsuit.
Oh, God. Lorraine. Oh, no.
Oh, you knew her.
How's it going, Chief?
You tell me.
Well, I pulled the black boxes. They look pretty good.
Go. Get him back to Washington.
Long gone.
Hey, something moved!
Where?
Here! Here.
It's a dog! We're gonna have to cut it out. Hurry!
Nickerson?
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir, do you have any family or friends out here?
Here? No, nobody.
Well, who's looking out for you then?
Oh, they're all very nice here.
I mean, personally. Who's looking out for you personally?
Well, I was going to say Emma. She's always...
Your wife?
I was right there. And I still don't believe what happened.
That's where we come in, Mr. Switzer. We can help with that. If you take a look at that card there, you can see that I work for a law firm.
Law firm? What's that got to do with me?
We're deeply concerned about you. Matter of fact, Mr. Harmon himself is coming down here just to see you. And I think you should talk to him.
Oh. Honey, I'm right here. I'm right here, honey. I'm right here.
Guess we got a whole new problem here.
We can handle it.
What did you say?
I said we can handle it.
Well, like that wee.
So do I. You all right?
I guess this is not one of my better days.
Hello?
Honey, this is Scott Cody.
Alpa?
How you doing, Skipper?
It's a bitch. I kill all those people.
No, I kind of doubt it. You've got an outstanding flight record.
Last thing I remember is hitting that storm cell, and then it all goes.
Well, don't you worry about that now, huh? Probably the medication. It'll come back to you.
I thought you didn't know my husband. Or were you just saying that about his flying ability?
Nope, got his training history and all his flight records.
That was quick.
Well, the airline sent it over. Diane, I think that you ought to know that we're going to be going into his entire background and releasing that to the media.
Good. I want people to know about him.
You'll get your shot. We'll be taking a deposition from you, and it'll get pretty personal, particularly about the last 48 hours. So I'm afraid you won't have much privacy for a while.
Who's we?
Myself and some NTSB people.
I thought you were Pilots Association.
Yes, I am. You see, NTSB has to run the investigation. That's the law. I represent the pilots as an invited guest. I offer whatever expertise I can and try to protect our side.
And what side is that?
The truth. Whatever that may be.
Nurse Griffin, 3812.
I went through that crash like it was nothing. Wife dying and all. For some reason, it just never really hit me. And I'm wondering, what the hell's wrong with me, you know? And then last night, I went through that crash all over again. I mean, I really went through it. And not just once. Each time, it got worse. Am I losing my mind?
No, not at all. It's called post-impact trauma, Mr. Switzer. It can happen to most anybody.
I'm not sure I can handle all this.
No, of course not. What you need is professional help. And that's what I'm here for.
Well, I don't know. A while ago, an insurance guy was in. He said he'd take care of all that.
What insurance guy?
Airline, I think. Real nice guy. Real considerate.
Nice? You know, the company that this man represents, Mr. Switzer, is going to start poking around in your private life and see if you got anything to hide. And then they are going to use it against you to keep you from taking him to court. Oh, yes, yes, they can really do that.
Courts? Boy, I don't know.
Well, you stick with me, Mr. Switzer, there aren't going to be any courts.
Hey, I can't afford no lawyer.
You don't understand. Mr. Switzer, you and your wife bought a ticket to get from point A to point B, but you never made it. And the fault lies with the airline. And so they pay. They pay you, and then they pay me. It's as simple as that. So what do you say? What do you think?
Mr. Goddard?
You know, this happens every single time. You want the cause of the crash. Well, if we knew that, we wouldn't even be here.
But surely you have some idea.
And that's the other thing. You want us to speculate. We don't do that. Board policy is to issue statements of fact, period. Now, if you wish to draw conclusions from those facts, you're free to do so.
What about the bomb threat on Senator Charleston?
That's under the FBI's jurisdiction. They've launched their usual thorough investigation.
And?
So far, nothing conclusive. Mr. Zollman?
According to my sources, the pilot has no recollection of the crash. Is that accurate?
The last thing he remembers is penetrating the cell, yes.
Well, did he say anything about his argument with the tower?
I wouldn't characterize it as an argument.
You wouldn't? Have you run the tapes?
Several times.
Then what would you call it?
I'd say two individuals operating with conflicting information.
And one of them had to be wrong.
That's your opinion.
Oh, come on now. We all know the tower's information was correct. That pilot flew directly into a storm cell, the most dangerous cell in the area.
Mr. Zollman, that particular pilot has accrued a total of 15,000 flying hours, the last 2,000 of which were in this aircraft type.
Let me tell you about that particular pilot, Mr. Goddard. There is an experimental drug called proquiline used to increase sexual potency. This drug has not been approved by the FDA, but apparently that didn't matter to that pilot of yours because at the time of the flight, he was on that drug.
We have no such information.
Well, I do, and I can document it.
How's he doing?
About the same. What's the matter?
We've got to talk. What is this proquiline stuff?
How do you know about that?
What is it, Diane?
I don't think it's any of your business.
You know better than that.
All right, it was prescribed by a doctor.
Airline doctor?
No, Dr. Breck. He said, try it, maybe it'll help solve the problem.
What problem?
I'm trying to conceive, all right?
That depends. Does the airline know that he's on this stuff?
No,
Why not?
because proguline's harmless. It's like taking aspirin.
Who says?
This is Dr. Breck. Look, I was there. Greg said, hey, Doc, is this drug legal? Is it going to affect my flying? Is it going to make me drowsy or dizzy or anything? And he said, absolutely not. It's been prescribed by doctors for 15 years. There's nothing dangerous in this, Scott. Greg would have known. I would have known. And Greg would never have gotten on an airplane. That's how he is.
Who is this Dr. Breck, anyway?
He's a fertility specialist. I have trouble conceiving, and on top of that, Greg's sperm count is down. And you look totally unconvinced. Who put you onto this anyway?
Spence Zollman. And it was carried nationwide. Now, I don't know how many people saw it, but I do know this. They heard only one thing, that the pilot of Flight 1501 was on drugs.
What are these people thinking? How can they get away with this?
Di, I don't remember the crash. I was not drug crazed, much I do know.
Oh, but you were. That's why you can't remember. That's what they're all saying. The ones who aren't saying it are thinking it. Solomon sure knows how to stack the deck, doesn't he?
Take it easy. This is just one more problem for us to solve. We'll get through this one, too, you'll see.
You promise?
You doubting me again?
No, sir. Never again.
That's good. Because I am going to walk out of here and fly 10 million more miles, and we're gonna have babies by the houseful.
Houseful? I'd settle for one. You look so tired.
Guess I wasn't as convincing as I thought.
Oh, come on. You've never lied to me before.
We've been lucky, you know, the two of us.
I know.
It's like a tape. I can look back on my whole life now. I mean, the whole thing. If you fast forward it, it's simple. It's just like a roller coaster with ups and downs. Trying to stay alive. Maybe accomplish something. What have I accomplished?
Well, you got stuck with me.
Stuck?
You're not gonna get out of it either. I need you, kiddo. You're life and breath to me, so just knock off this past tense stuff, okay? I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Lindenwood is going to feed the flight recorder data into our computer and come up with a visual reconstruct of the crash.
You mean we'll be able to sit down and actually watch the crash happen?
That's right. This particular flight recorder tracks, what, Bob, 73 different functions? To name a few: altitude, angle of attack, pitch, roll, magnetic heading, position of control surfaces, thrust, hydraulic pressures, etc. All in binary code.
What about the cockpit voice recorder?
The other black box. People, I'm sorry to have to tell you, we've lost the golden nugget.
Oh, what? Why? What happened?
Well, sometime before impact, 3 circuit breakers popped simultaneously, wouldn't reset. A moment later, no cockpit mic.
Is there anything on that alleged secret cargo?
Isn't that a mess?
You know, it's worse than you think. It's CIA stuff. The guts of some kind of spy satellite. Maximum security clearance is required and all that.
Bob, this is critical. We've got to know what was in that crate.
Well, we may get that chance. The Department of Defense lawyers got into it.
Oh, those guys.
Apparently, they're working on some kind of compromise. They might even make it available to us.
So they're going to be on our side for once?
Hope springs eternal.
So what you're saying is something's in the works, right?
Right.
Good. Stanton, what do you got?
Well, we had a fire. Apparently, post-crash, fuel-fed. It had to be, really. Minimal damage except in the fore and mid-cargo compartments. It got a little hotter in there.
Anything significant in that?
No, I don't think so. The wing tank ruptured right next to it.
Post-crash fire. All right, so much for that. What brought the plane down, folks? We're running out of possibilities here. Unless, of course, there was a bomb aboard. Mr. Bryce, the FBI got a position on that yet?
Well, we found no structural revelations. Since then, we've looked everywhere for explosion signatures, chemical residues. Lab's been over everything, including seat and carpet samples. In short,
About time.
we found nothing that would not be there naturally.
Don't suppose there's another way to put that?
We found no evidence of sabotage. You can rule out a bomb, and that's official.
It's official.
Thank you. Which brings us to the drug thing.
We have that, Wes. Where's, Pam, could you help me out? Could I see your D file?
Yeah.
We ran a tox on the pilot. Now, the stuff was in his system, so we telephoned the pharmaceutical company, and they faxed us all the critical data on Procaline.
Are we in trouble on that?
No, we ran a pretty good study. We're satisfied Procaline has no adverse effects on performance.
You mean there's no drug-crazed pilot?
There's nothing blatantly abnormal here.
Of course, that's not what Zolman says.
Wes, we could question the pilot's judgment, flying into an ominous cloud on final approach.
Could just be a wind shear accident.
Oh, come on, Scotty. The controller specifically vectored him away from that cell, and yet he flew right into it anyway. That's a judgment problem, and you know it. Pilot error. What else is there? No bomb aboard, no structural failure, no in-flight fire. If you've got a better answer, let's have it.
Overhead bins opened up, and all that stuff started flying around hitting people. I seen one of them stewardesses. I saw her face, and she was really scared. That's when I knew we was really in for something. Is this kind of what you want?
Doing fine, Mr. Switzer. Just whatever you remember, okay?
It was rough, and we was getting jerked from side to side. And I looked out the window because I could hear that engine change in pitch, down.
Which side of the plane was that?
The left side. And then we started tipping down. And then my side of the plane went over. And then all of a sudden we just rolled over. And just like that, over and down. And I told myself, this is it. This is as far as we're going to go, right here. And I looked at Em there, and she's looking back at me, perfectly calm. I'll never get over that. And then we hit the ground, and my seatbelt like to cut me in half, and my guts is up in my mouth, And that stuff has hit me in the face.
What stuff was that?
Well, it was like gravel. And it was hot, real hot. And then it was dark, black. And that seatbelt was really hurting, so I popped it open, and then I'm falling through the air, and I realized I'd been upside down. I hit the bottom, and I'm yelling for Em, and feeling all around, and it's dead quiet in there. Smoke and all, lots of smoke. Jeez, I had to get out of there.
You got out of the plane, obviously. Do you remember how?
No, I can't. I remember being in this field, and there's a guy sitting there in his seat. Then I started seeing lights, and then people are coming. And I said, "Hey, fella."
Come on, get up now. It's all over.
And I walked around in front to see him. And there's this. I'm sorry. There's this big chunk of plane just sticking.
Would you like a break, Mr. Switzer?
Them rescue people, I gotta tell you, there's something else. In my book, every one of them's a hero.
Let's take a minute. Let me get you some coffee.
How come I'm still alive? Will you answer me that? Em is sitting right next to me. You know how tight them coach seats is. Why her instead of me? Can you answer me that, for God's sakes?
Can I see your ID, sir?
Let's get this thing going, huh?
A bit testy this morning, are we? Better get you back to bed. Okay, firing up the radar. Since we don't have any storm cells handy, I parked that flying classroom out there as a stand-in. How's it read to you?
It's a reasonable facsimile. Paints a good return. Sure.
Dr. Van Buren, will you fire up that bogey you got over there, or whatever it is that nobody else can look at but you?
Sour grapes, Mr. Goddard?
Okay.
Is now powering up. It's gonna take a few seconds to stabilize, though. It should lock in about now.
Dr. Van Buren, you want to turn that thing on and off a couple of times?
Okay.
Now back on.
You're not supposed to ship live electronic equipment in a plane. That's strictly forbidden. Now, do you know anything about rise time, square waves, anything like that?
Not a clue.
All right, inside of this CIA thing, there is some kind of a continually changing code. It's built in so that it can't be compromised by the enemy. Apparently, this causes it to broadcast odd harmonics. Now, the trouble is, these harmonics heterodyne with the key frequencies used to calibrate radar equipment in the nose. And you're not following any of this, are you?
Nary a syllable.
All right. What it amounts to is this spy stuff skewed Greg's radar. Not all the time, just some of the time. And one of those times happened to be when he was on his final approach coming into Dayton.
Are you telling me that the radar lied to him?
Yeah, you could say that. It told him that the storm cell was 30 degrees out of position. And that's why he flew straight into it. He thought that he was avoiding the cell, when in fact
He flew straight into it.
Right.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, Scott. It's the one thing I couldn't understand. It just didn't make any sense to me, him flying into a storm cell. He wouldn't do that. I can't wait to tell him. You know, he halfway believes he crashed that plane.
Hold on. Slow down now.
Why, you just said that the radar was compromised.
Well, there's a little more to it than that.
For instance,
The plane came down at an unusual attitude.
what does that mean?
You want it straight?
Yes.
It's beginning to look less and less like a wind shear accident.
So what is it then?
The way it looks now, but this is just now, mind you. And regardless of the radar thing.
Don't say pilot error to me.
Said you wanted it straight.
That's what you're thinking? That's what they're all thinking? Fine. You're wrong.
Several days after the crash, the grim task of identifying the victims of Conwest Flight 1501 continues. Refrigerated trucks are being used to store the dead until a team of pathologists assembled from Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Illinois finish performing the autopsies. Several dozen grieving relatives of the crash victims visited a hangar at the airport to claim the luggage of their loved ones. As the family members walked out of the hangar, suitcases in hand, some had to be helped after breaking down. Georgia Kim reporting from Dayton. Here she comes now. Here she comes.
Please,
Mrs.
please,
Halstead.
ladies and gentlemen, let us
Mrs.
through.
Halstead, Georgia Kim
Please,
reporting live.
please.
Any
Make
comments
way here,
regarding
please.
the accusations
All your
that the
questions
crash of
will be
Conwest
answered
Flight
in due
1501 was due to pilot error on the part of your husband? Any comments on that, Mrs.
Everyone,
Halstead?
please take a seat. Everyone, now please sit down.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Diane Halstead, the wife of Gregory Halstead, the pilot of Flight 1501. She has a statement she would like to make.
Mrs. Halstead, did the airline know that your husband was on drugs?
Excuse me, Mr. Zolman, I said she had a statement to make. The floor is not open to questions.
That's all right. I'd like to answer that. As a matter of fact, I'm glad he asked. My husband was not on drugs, plural, Mr. Zolman. Only one. Proquiline. He was taking it in the hopes that we might have a child.
Were you aware that this drug had not been approved by the FDA?
No. Our doctor said it was no more harmful than aspirin. He's been giving it to his patients for years.
Was the airline aware of this?
No, I just told you. Proquiline is not dangerous.
Well, that's one opinion.
It's not an opinion, Mr. Zolman. It's established fact. Proquiline has been available worldwide as Jexostran. It's been on the FDA approved list for over 15 years. It's used to increase blood circulation. The only known side effects are dry skin and the possibility of increased male fertility. And to my knowledge, Mr. Zolman, neither of these things has brought down an aircraft. I think you know that. I think you knew the truth about Jexostran, and I think it is totally irresponsible of you to sensationalize all this and say that my husband was on drugs.
I stand by my story. Your husband was on Proquiline, and Proquiline has been rejected by the FDA.
It was not rejected, Mr. Zolman. It hasn't been accepted yet. There's a difference. It's still being tested for its effectiveness on male potency. What I'm trying to say to you is it does not produce drug-crazed pilots.
Well, I hate to state the obvious here.
Mr. Zolman, I think the lady has answered your question. Now, that's enough. Please, go ahead.
At 5:31 this morning, my husband succumbed to crash-induced injuries. He died not knowing how or why his plane went down, or what, if any, part he played in that tragedy. My husband was a wonderful pilot, especially in emergencies. And his concern was always for the safety of his passengers. Unfortunately, there's been growing speculation over what is being called pilot error. I know my husband. And I know that he did not cause that plane to crash. And I will not rest until I find the real cause. Thank you, that's all.
Mrs. Halstead, you said during emergencies. What emergencies?
You'll have to excuse me. I have a funeral to arrange and a plane to catch.
Mrs. Halstead, if I could, just one...
Heard the lady. Where the hell is your sense of decency? Now that's it.
Long things out. Looks like pilot error.
Yeah, pilot error. I mean, I don't know now. The guy's dead. What are we going to do with that?
Well, if he can't defend himself, it can only help us, right?
Yeah, but to do what? Beat up on a dead guy? Sue the widow? Take away her house? Nobody wants that. There's no money in that anyway.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Look, the airline, that is the deep pocket. The only deep pocket. And we got to make him culpable, and I mean bulletproof. You understand? A bulletproof case.
Don't know, Chet. Airline's got a pretty good out. Never even heard about the drugs.
Yeah, the wife said that, didn't she? I mean, it struck me odd the minute it came out of her mouth. I mean, who would volunteer information like that? Nobody's that honest. Put us right in the toilet, too. Damn it. I don't like the way it's going, Nick. I feel naked as hell.
Why?
Well, I'm being interviewed tonight, you remember?
So?
Well, this is national coverage. I may not get another shot like it. I need something sensational, and I haven't got it.
Come on, what do you call Switzer? One survivor out of 128 people, and we got him. For once, the heavyweights are all out in the cold.
Yeah, blew us right out of the water. How could she?
Maybe she's not that honest.
What are you talking about?
Well, it depends. See, if it comes back pilot error, forget pensions and benefits.
The airline has a cutoff clause?
Oh, yeah.
Schlock airline. Smart contract, though, huh?
Could save Con West a bundle.
Yeah, send the widow right up there. Hold it there. Oh, no, they don't. Not to me, they don't. I'm gonna shoot this right back in their face.
You've said some interesting things here, somewhat hypothetical. You're accusing her of what? Collusion? Conspiracy?
Hey, Paul, I'm just asking.
Hello?
It's Cody. What are you doing?
Packing.
Turn on channel 41.
I have a plane to catch.
No, there's something you ought to see.
Scott?
Just turn it on.
But we have got 128 dead now. I mean, 128 people dead. Who is responsible?
Still sounds like an accusation to me. But go ahead.
All right, I'll ask another question. If you were the widow and you knew that you were about to lose all your pension and benefits, and the airline comes to you and says, we would like to offer you a deal, would you listen?
What?
Is this just speculation, or do you
Understand now, I am not accusing anyone of anything. All I am saying is there are certain questions that need answers. Now, suppose you were the widow. The airline comes to you, they say, look, we want to restore all your pensions and benefits and maybe slide a little something under the table. All you got to do in return is say, we don't know anything about the drugs. Well, is that a good deal? I mean, would you say yes to a thing like that?
I am still so angry. Just can't believe that bastard Harmon. You'd think he'd at least wait until after the funeral.
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe he did me a favor.
How in the world can you say that?
Oh, and all the aviation experts gang up on you and they all tell you you're wrong. You start to think you're wrong. But now, by God, Harmon made me angry. And I'll tell you something else. I'm not wrong about Greg. I'm not. He did not cause that plane crash. And starting tomorrow, somehow, I'm gonna prove that he didn't do it.
Well, I still think that Harmon should be lynched.
Well, that wouldn't hurt either. I'll call you tomorrow.
You're gonna be all right.
Thanks for the lift.
Mrs. Halstead, this is Judy from the dental office. I'm just calling to remind you of your appointment on Thursday. See you then.
Hi, Di, it's me. If you're there, pick up the phone. We've got a delay here before we take off, and I just wanted to talk to you. Sort of explain to you what I'm going through. In the first place, I'm sorry. Just bear with me about this pregnancy thing, will you? We'll have our child. Don't worry about that. Anyway, when I get back from this flight, I want to spend time with you. Lots of time. Let's just go back to that inn in Carmel with the fireplace. Oh, I want to do all the good things with you again. Let's just give ourselves a break and just be lovers again. Okay? What do you say? And maybe the child will just come. Whatever happened to phone booths with privacy? Anyway, look, I have got to go get ready to fly, and I just wanted to say that I love you. I love you. And as long as we have each other, we can't lose. I love you. I'll be seeing you. Bye.
Yeah, hello.
Scott, Diane Halstead. Look, I know I woke you up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, thanks. I really needed to know that.
I'm sorry. I need your help.
Okay. What's up?
I remember you saying that they're putting the plane together.
Yeah, the airframe guys are doing that.
Where?
It's in a rented hangar here in Dayton. Look, can't this wait? We're all gonna be back in D.C. tomorrow night.
But the wreckage is in Dayton. I've got to have a look at it.
Why? You don't know what to look for.
No, but you do.
Well, no, not really.
You know more than I do.
That's not the point. Look, the NTSB guys are the real experts. Why don't we just let them handle it, huh?
Has the board made a decision yet?
No. But it is going to come out pilot error. And look, I hate that idea just as much as you do, but there's no way around it now.
Then make me believe it. Prove it to me. Maybe then I can get some sleep.
Why me?
Because you're the only one I've got. Besides, I'm booked on the next plane.
Starting out here. All right, bring it in.
This held up pretty well.
Well, strongest part of the airplane.
It's funny what impact will do. So damn capricious. Remember Switzer, the fellow they found wandering around in the field?
Yeah.
He was up there, 19A. What spared him, I wonder? And then there's the dog, of course, down in the forward cargo compartment. Well, he survived for almost a week.
He died?
Amazing that he survived at all.
Oh, my God, look at this.
Must have been pretty hot in here, huh?
Yes, mid-cargo compartment. Took out the CBR, APU controls, engine controls. They all run through here. Took all of those out, and about half of the hydraulic systems running aft.
That have been before the crash or after?
We wondered about that, too. We've got an in-flight fire here, we said. Explains everything. The lost CBR, circuit breakers popping, and the control circuits for the throttles go through here. Sure. Cut the circuit and cut the fuel, right? And the number 2 engine went dead, we know that. Sure, an in-flight fire.
So that's what happened?
Well, then we realized, you see, this is the mid-cargo compartment, which means a Class D compartment. That ended it. No fire.
I don't understand.
A Class D compartment is pressurized, but there's no air, no oxygen, or very little. And of course, no oxygen, no fire. Fire feeds on oxygen, right?
Too bad. I rather like the theory myself. You see, the controls for the rudders come through here. They're cooked, too. Kind of hard to land a plane without a rudder.
Well, wait a minute. What if a fire had gotten started in there somehow?
Just isn't possible.
But what an idea, Scott. An in-flight fire. He's right. It would explain everything.
These guys built the plane, and they say no fire. Why do you keep pushing it?
You know why.
Fine, have it your way.
Well, what kind of attitude is that?
All right, look. When I told you pilot error, you said make me believe it.
Yes, and I meant it.
When we get to Washington tonight, I got something to show you.
What?
The flight data recorder is intact. I think you know that. The lab used that information to reconstruct the last moments of the flight. Got it on a tape. It's totally accurate. And I think you ought to see it.
Approach control, this is Conwest 1501, descending to 3000, proceeding direct to the Monitor Airport. We are painting some fairly heavy storm cells between here and the airport. If you can, request radar vectors around the activity.
Cells are building rapidly in all quadrants. Looks like the softest spot might be turn right, heading 035, descend to and maintain 3000, over.
Wait a minute, that puts us right into a big one.
Well, we show that to be about the best heading for you, sir.
Doesn't look that good to us. We're going to maintain present heading 180.
All right. Here it comes.
According to our radar, that puts you right in the middle of the largest cell.
You sure you're up to this?
Well, I'm going to have to go by what we see here.
Ask me when it's over.
Seems to be the best way to get through this stuff.
Not according to our radar, but you're the captain. Maintain heading 180. You're clear to land on runway 18.
Flaps 15, landing gear down. Something's wrong here. I don't like the looks of this. Flight attendants, take your seats now.
And right here is where they hit the storm cell.
My God, look at that.
Dropped about 1,500 feet there.
Where'd this damn thing come from? Hang on. Boy, this is a rough one.
But he's holding it. Look at him fly that plane.
This is where they lose number 2 engine.
We've lost number 2 engine. Damn, too much water. Maybe not. Try an air start.
See the wing drop?
Lose it how?
Well, I'd say it flooded. Too much water.
Is that possible?
I've had it happen.
1501, we now show you the worst of it. What are you painting on your radar? 1501. 1501.
We've got no...
1501.
That's it. They're on the ground.
I don't understand. Why did it just roll over like that?
Because Greg failed to use the rudder. All he had to do was apply a right rudder to prevent the roll, and that plane would have landed safely.
Oh, that's impossible. You wouldn't just sit there and not make a correction.
Look, the flight data recorder doesn't lie. Here, see it for yourself. Okay. Left engine spool's down, and look, see right there? The rudder stays in a streamlined position all the way through impact.
What was he trying to say? What was he trying to say? We've got no... what?
No left engine. What else could it be?
Oh, he wouldn't say that. He doesn't talk like that. He'd say, number 2 failed, or we lost number 2.
Hold on now. Hold on.
What did Chadwick say? What did he say about the rudder? About the rudder controls? They're cooked too. And you can't land a plane without a rudder.
Diane?
Well, it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
You're not being realistic.
No rudder. That's what he was trying to say. We've got no rudder. Well, couldn't it be?
You're holding on to nothing. There was no fire. There couldn't be a fire. Don't you think I want it too? For God's sake, I'd give anything if I could believe it. But the facts just don't support it.
How can you say that?
Because flying's my business, damn it. I know what I'm talking about.
And I don't, I suppose.
That's right, you don't. You are holding on to an impossible idea. Because you don't want to face what happened.
Don't talk to me like that.
All right, let me give you my version. Okay? Greg flew through the tough stuff. The really tough stuff. And then, apparently, because there is no other explanation now, apparently he just flat lost it. Or he blacked out.
No. That is totally unacceptable to me.
You're fooling yourself. There's no way around it anymore. There's nothing left but pilot error.
No.
I admit I had my doubts, but not now. And no matter what you think, as far as I'm concerned, this investigation is over.
Got some pretty good scotch inside. What do you think?
Well, I call that an idea. As long as you promise not to shoot me.
I asked you to make me believe it, and you did. Rock's all right?
Yeah, fine.
Here we go.
You're taking this very well.
No, I'm not. I don't think I've ever been so wrong in my whole life. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to it. Here's to the truth.
Whole truth and nothing but. What's the matter?
He shouldn't have said that.
Said what?
Something's bothering me. There's a loose end. The golden retriever.
What about it?
Oh, you go through a plane crash. You're trapped in the wreckage for days. And what happened?
I don't know, it just died.
Why? What killed it?
At this point, what possible difference could it make?
Well, if we don't know what killed a dog, we don't know the whole truth, do we?
Maybe we don't care what killed the dog.
Come on, not a little bit curious?
Not one little bit.
For the first time ever, you disappoint me.
Lady, I've walked the last mile for you, and then some. But this is it. Right here is where I get off.
Oh, no, it's not.
So where is she now?
In the lab with Stanton.
And you actually autopsied the dog?
Well, you tried saying no to her. What did it get you?
Thanks for lunch. I'm out of here.
You think this is funny, don't you?
Well, what did the autopsy say?
Toxic fumes.
Isn't that a surprise?
Matter of fact, it was.
What, with all that burning insulation? Come on.
The precise cause of death was, and I quote, inhalation of sodium-based toxins, unquote. Get that, pal? Sodium.
On an airplane? Where the hell did that come from?
What do you care? You're out of
I
here.
am a party to this investigation, you know.
You know, Scott, you're a good man. But you're a little lacking in, whimsy.
So where was the dog?
Well, let's take a look. The dog was here in the fore cargo compartment. But the thing is, there were no sodium products of any kind in there. Where did they come from? So we looked in the mid cargo compartment here in pink. Found a variety of things in there. 10 cases of bottled water, sodium-free, miscellaneous items of hardware, 12 cartons of computer printout stock, various other things, all chemically inert. And then we came to this. Somewhat unidentifiable flying object, listed in the manifest only as, quote, laundry chemicals, unquote.
Bob, Pam, what do you got?
We may be onto something. Come and take a look.
Ah, yes.
Wes, I want you to look at these witness marks. You see how they run the length of it? That indicates that on impact, this was lying on its side, which means its contents possibly leaked out during the flight.
Horrible looking mess. What was in it?
You know, that's what I wondered. So I called the guy who shipped it. Wes, right away he got feisty with me. And I said to him, oh yeah? Well, fine. I'll be seeing you. So I flew up to Newark, New Jersey, where his plant is. I was met by his lawyer. Well, then I knew I was on to something. So I says to his lawyer, now you listen. We have federal subpoena power. Do you want to play ball?
You got an answer.
Well, you know I did.
What was in it?
Well, for one, a 10-gallon polyethylene drum. Now I have a replica over here. It was filled with H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide.
You mean like the household stuff?
No, that would be at about a 3% solution. This was at 50% strength. Now, in contact with other materials, it's a violent oxidizer that can cause spontaneous combustion.
Well, that can't be legal on airplanes.
Absolutely not.
No wonder the guy was feisty.
No, this stuff can release huge quantities of oxygen. On top of that, the rest of the drum was filled with, and here's the magic word, sodium orthosilicate. They filled it in and packed it down tight. And it's pretty corrosive stuff.
Dare I ask? Could it have started a fire?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Not only that, but supply its own oxygen.
Did you hear that, Scott?
What do you mean you would think so?
It doesn't work.
What?
Well, we mixed it together and nothing happened.
Oh, no. Not exactly true. It generated a lot of heat and smoke.
But no fire.
Yes, but that only represents the first flight.
What are you getting at?
That fiber drum started off in Newark, was flown to Washington, sat there for a day, and then was loaded onto Flight 1501.
But Wes, the real point is that the drum was lying on its side, which caused the hydrogen peroxide to seep out and soak into the drum. And then it sat for a whole day in Washington and dried out.
And the result?
Well, a 50% solution can't start a fire, but a 60% solution can. So the question is how to build up a 60% solution. Now come around here. To answer the question, I had to ask myself, what if it spilt again on Flight 1501? I mean, why not? We know it was on its side. The witness marks show that.
I assume you've simulated all of that?
Of course.
And?
Well, we don't know yet.
Why not, Bob?
Because, well, you see, these fiber boards have been soaked in hydrogen peroxide, and we're just waiting for them to dry out.
What are you getting at?
Patience, Wes.
So let's get on with it.
Give one of them a try. Maybe this one's ready.
Excuse me. I'm totally lost.
Well, it's really not all that complicated. Just think of this as the fiber drum, It's already been soaked in a 50% solution.
Then you let it dry out. Why?
Because that's what happened at Baltimore, Washington. Yes, it dried out, but the hydrogen peroxide is still in there. Do you see? At a 50% strength. Now, I add the sodium orthosilicate, and as we know, nothing happens. However, in my hand, I hold some more of the 50% solution of you-know-what. As I simulate the leak, it slowly soaks into the cardboard. Slowly. We wait, tension mounting. And theoretically, somewhere down in that mess, the concentration is building from 50% to 51 to 52.
Wow. My God, we've done it! Not so hasty. Let's see if it tracks.
we did have a fire, it would start here in the fiber drum. Okay. Heat rises. So what's above?
The John.
First thing to go wrong?
Three-phase motor and the John kicks off.
That's right. 3 breakers pop, wouldn't reset. Why? The wire's melted. What next?
Cockpit voice recorder.
And the voice recorder circuitry goes right along with the engine controls.
And the rudder controls, even I know that.
Okay. In this order, then. Big hot chemical fire in the fiber drum. Heat rises, 3 breakers pop, CVR goes south, number 2 engine flames out, and the rudder controls sever and die.
Well, what do you know?
Does this mean Greg's off the hook?
Cause of crash. Loss of control due to in-flight fire. Period. Had to be.
Excuse me.
Diane, you all right?
Fine.
So, another day. Another hot, miserable, muggy day.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's gonna be beautiful.
Never give up, do you?
So where's the press when you need them, huh?
Well, I have a statement to make anyway. I was wrong about you right from the start and all the way through. I was wrong and you were right. I want to apologize.
My, you're taking this very well.
Yes, I am. You know, Wes Goddard says that I lack whimsy. You may be right.
You're a rock, Scott Cody. Don't change a thing.
And you are obstinate, uncompromising, and totally impossible. I'm gonna miss that.
Thanks for your help. I'll see you around.
According to NTSB officials, in the final desperate moments of Flight 1501, Captain Gregory Halstead wrestled heroically with the controls of an airplane that was literally burning out from under him, while his in-flight radar misdirected him into a deadly storm cell. This plane went down. 128 people were killed because 1, live electronic equipment was shipped aboard. Why? To save time. And 2, deadly illegal compounds were unloaded, labeled only as, quote, laundry chemicals, unquote. The only comfort we can take in this tragedy lies in its uniqueness. Its very oddity assures us that it can never happen again.